Hello everybody, I am Baltmatrix, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Studio Series 86, number 11, Perceptor. The figure was purchased over at the Hasbro Pulse. Perceptor comes from that one still in the movie where the Autobot City is getting attacked, and it looks great. It absolutely looks great. I love the coloring, I love the look. It's probably my favorite of all of the figures that I've gotten so far. Now, Perceptor itself is a fine-looking figure, modeled in charcoal, red, powder blue, and white. Overall, it's a very good rendition of the figure. A 360-degree look at the figure shows that it's pretty good, though it does suffer from some of the hollowness that the line is known for. The forearms are hollow for the transformation. The back is hollow for the head. I really wish there was a door there to better cover up the rest of the figure. And the inner thighs are hollow. The chest does have hollowness as well under the armpits, but that is specifically for the transformation, so I can forgive that. I really just wish there was a big door right there on his back, because that just looks weird. Perceptor's head sculpt is excellent. I cannot stress how good the head looks. It is exactly what I always pictured the toy a Perceptor should look like. It is, quite frankly, the best Perceptor looking figure we've ever gotten. I really, though, would like to see a repaint of this as Magnificus. Is that his name? The black evil Perceptor. That'd be really cool. Now, I do have a slight issue with this figure. All of the joints are tight. That's not the issue. It's actually the paint. In certain light, the paint looks exceptionally dull. Where you look on the back of the box or you look in the actual pictures of the figure, everything is bright and vibrant. That's not the case here. All of the colors, all of the paint is dull. It's very, very strange. And it really starts showing up, and you really start seeing it when you put the figure next to figures that have more vibrant paint. And maybe it's the fact that all of the paint is matte. That's entirely possible, as opposed to glossy, like we have with Hot Rod and Blaster. It's very strange. It is just really weird that the choice they made here. Perceptor comes with one accessory, and that is his little pea shooter that is molded after the G1 figure. The pea shooter itself doesn't fit well in the hand at all, so it feels just a little bit too big for the hands, so I'll probably have to sand that down. You can post it on the magnifying lens, though you're supposed to. Oh, it is a little bit too big, though it does go on there eventually. Speaking of the magnifying device, that can actually be stored on the figure's backpack. It can look up and down, and then it can ratchet and peg in to his back and just rest back there, so you get a more clean figure. Never did that in the show, but that is a nice addition. I do appreciate that. The actual microscope component is just this single piece of plastic. It's well painted. It doesn't have the same level of play that the original figure did. No turning of the knob to make the actual scope extend in and out. And that's just one solid piece of plastic. That's unfortunate, but I understand why. And this is not going to show up on camera, but you can look through the hole here and see light coming through the other side. So let's just demonstrate that. See, it does allow light through, but you can't really look through it to see anything, because, I mean, look at that. That's super cloudy, super scratched up plastic. Same on this side. Perceptor's posability is standard for this line. Shoulders are on ball joints, swivel just underneath that, hinge at the elbow, no fist articulation. Head is on a ball joint, but it is limited because, well, when you turn it, you kind of knock into the actual magnifying glass unless you flip it up. There is a torso swivel, and the legs are crazy posable. Swivel for forward and back, hinge for in and out, thigh swivel. Then there's a transformation point at the thigh, and then knee bend well over 90 degrees, and then an ankle rocker, which I like. The figure does have a port on his butt for plugging in a flight stand, so you can pull off crazy poses like this. Continuing the siege port gimmicks, we've got one siege port on each shoulder. We've got one siege port on the top of the magnifying glass. We have one siege port on his lower back. Then there's one siege port on the bottom of each at the outside bottom of each leg, and 1 siege port on each heel. And here's the figure with some of his deluxe class buddies from the movie line. Not the Studio Series line, all of these characters appeared in the movie. I just couldn't find Blur. I know Blur's around here somewhere. He's just zipping around having fun. Anyway, RC, Cup, Hot Rod, and Blaster. I don't have Kingdom Ultra Magnus. I'm not interested in that mold. I really wish they would do a different Ultra Magnus for the Studio Series line. That would be nice. Perceptor's transformation is very easy, but I find it to be a ton of fun. To start off with, come to the head and turn it around 180 degrees, and then push it down and snap it into place at the bottom of the back, like so. Come to the forearms and flip in the fists. Then take the arms, straighten them out, and pull the shoulders away from the rest of the body. Then take the microscope top, turn it 90 degrees to the side, grab the entire section, and pull it up and over where the head was. Then come to the opposite shoulder and push that up and peg it into place in the section just underneath the magnifying glass structure. Take the shoulders and pull them up just a little bit. Take the arm and turn it around 180 degrees and do the same thing on the other side. Then fold them up and push the shoulder bits all the way in and fold the arms up and they will snap into place. So do that on the other side. Push the shoulder all the way down into the torso, then fold the arm up into place and snap it into place, and we've got the top of the microscope mode already done. Come down to the feet, fold the toes down, put the legs straight out, then give it a beautiful spread, and then at that transformation joint at the thigh, bend it 90 degrees. Then come to the chest and open up the panel on the chest. This panel is the only piece of all clear plastic on the figure. Then take the magnifying glass and point it straight down. Oh, did I mention? The magnifying glass is on a ratchet joint. Weird. The microscope mode works incredibly well. This is exactly what Perceptor was always going to turn into. Not a SUV with a cannon on top, but a microscope. And it works. This is as show accurate as a deluxe class figure is going to get. I like it. I legitimately like it. Now I realize Make Toys? No, Fans Toys and X-Transbots have made Perceptor figures recently, and both of those have turned me off because of their complexity. I'm happy with this. This figure is what I want Perceptor to be. It's perfect and exactly what I want. Oh, and there's also another mode we can turn it into. Solar Death Tank, anybody? To transform into tank mode, very simple. Take the legs and bend them down, and I find bending them down at the hips to be actually preferable, and then just take the leg struts, flip them around, and then get them lined up with these little pegs that are off to the side of the forearms. Those will peg into these little holes just above the toes. And getting them in isn't always the easiest because you can't really see what you're doing sometimes, but they do go in. I just find bending the hips down a little bit actually makes things a little easier, and then using the thigh swivels. And there we go. The only other thing to do would be to attach the gun at this point, at the siege port point, and it's not exactly the easiest thing to do in the world, but you can get it in there, and there we go. Solar tank mode works. I mean, come on. It is a microscope turned into a tank. It's not gonna be perfect. It's going to be silly. The original figure did have this mode in it, and it's always been dumb. It's never been in the movie or ever in the show, which I always thought was, give Perceptor something else to do other than sciencey stuff. He could be a badass bot and blow stuff up. I mean, we've seen him blow up something before in his microscope mode. He just needed to be more mobile. And this is mobile. Now, the only other bots that I have that transform into inanimate objects are Soundwave, that is the Walmart exclusive from Earthrise, and Blaster from Legacy/Kingdom. As you can see, it scales to roughly the same size as the others. So, yeah, I realize the proportions are a little bit different. We have two Transformers that literally transform into bricks, that produce music, and then a science instrument. The only other microscope that I could think of is Scalpel from Return of the Jedi. Yes, that's the movie. No, what is the second movie? Revenge of the Bots? Revenge of the Fallen. That's what it is. Good Lord. Can you believe it's been it has been. It'll be 15 years in June for the first movie. Holy moly. Overall, I like Perceptor a lot. I really do. I wasn't sure I was going to like him, but I picked it up at the Hasbro Pulse, and I saw it was in stock when they recently had a bunch of pre-orders go live. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick it up because I haven't been able to find it anywhere else. And I really like it. It's good. It is a good, fun figure. It's not going to be for everyone, though. Unless you like the character, I'm not sure you're going to like this one. But, hey, Grimlockamus, my buddy, if you're watching, Magnificus repaint. That should be pretty easy, and I think you would just need to get a new head or like mold a faceplate onto the guy. But yeah, I like this figure a lot, and I think it would be... Look, if you're a G1 fan and you're a fan of the movie, or the original 1986 movie, you're going to want to pick this up. Faults? Really? It's just the paint. I mean, yeah, there's some hollowness that I pointed out earlier that I don't like, especially that. But overall, the paint just needs to be brightened up. That's it. Otherwise, it's a really good figure. So folks, let me know what you think of Perceptor down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I have been Baltmatrix. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you know when new video is out. Hit that like button, and be sure to smash the subscribe because, well, YouTube is being YouTube again. As always, I have been Baltmatrix, and I'll catch you all next time.